First and foremost, I do want to get this announcement out of the way first. I'm going to be profiling some Dragon Ball villains very soon. Going to be starting, I think, probably with King Piccolo, as well, frankly, he's the one with the grandest motivation in Dragon Ball, I think. And I might go back and do Shen too if I feel like it, but we're gonna start there. Um, but anyways, this video, I'm doing it because I realized I've been talking about all these arguments regarding Dragon Ball Z Kai, regarding a lot of stuff. There are two kinds of arguments that I really have not addressed, and frankly, one of them I didn't think I should have to because it's such a common complaint, but I might need to. And then you have other ones that are hard to say. Um, I guess you could call them pseudo-intellectual arguments, and I'm going to explain what that is too. But the most common thing that you ever see in any argument, and it's about anything really, is the opinion card, and it's where you bring up something that contradicts something they said, and they say, "Well, that's your opinion." Now, in some cases it is, and there are some opinion Nazis out there. What really gets me though, and what's frankly BS, are the people who, when you present them with a comparison that's based in irrefutable fact, for example, item A has item B and item C based on it, but item C is closer to item A in terms of content. What I hate is when, I mean, that's objective, okay? Subjective would be which one you enjoyed more, sure, but it's frankly completely objective in terms of what's more accurate or what's more similar. It really is. And what I love is so many people still try to whip out the opinion card. Well, that's your opinion. In my opinion, this is better. It's like, okay, I'm not arguing about what you like better. You said, though, that this is absolute crap and they had no reason to make it or this and that. And yet I'm explaining to you why, and you said that's not the case, and now I'm pointing it out to you that you can verify it, and you're saying that's my opinion. Anyway, but yeah, I've actually, most recently I encountered it today in the comment board. But I've actually seen it all over the place, and it gets so old, you know. This series is just so awesome, it's so awesome. But well, frankly, I think it's kind of sucky because of this, and they never bothered to explain this. Oh, well, that's your opinion. It's like, it might be my opinion that it sucks because of this, sure, but the fact that this, and this happened, which contradicts this, and that this is not explained, that's not opinion. That's fact. But yeah, I've seen that plot hole. That's your opinion. Really? Like a kid who sees a picture of a moon turns into the giant monkey that supposedly only works through radiation. That's not a plot hole. Only in someone's opinion, it's a plot hole. Opinion card. They think it gets them out of any argument, and if you keep responding, or if you try to rationally speak to them at all, you're a troll. Keep in mind, these are some of the same people who, just 5 seconds before you replied to them, left a comment basically saying, if you like this, you're a two-year-old. So, there's that. Now, pseudo-intellectual arguments. I want to bring these up because I've seen so many people fall for them that it's not even ridiculous. And it's because they do sound like they make a little sense. They sound like they're well thought out and, you know, someone who's really been thinking about it. But in all actuality, they haven't. What it does is it takes a concept and twists it, and they're purposely vague about it. Even their statement is open to interpretation of what they're actually trying to say here. But they talk about something like it's just so broad and open, and you need to open up your mind to see it, and, you know, expand your mind. And it works because, you know, you don't like to feel like you're small-minded. It works because, you know, you don't like to feel like, you know, you're an idiot because this guy sounds smart. And a lot of times, maybe you don't type as well, maybe you don't have the best grammar, maybe you don't, so you're afraid to go after them, and so you either accept it or it just kind of sounds convincing. Because it does sound like they thought about this. Maybe they're right. Maybe I haven't been thinking as hard about it as they have. But I also encountered that today, specifically in regard to Akira Toriyama's manga, wherein someone actually said that the characters are open to interpretation, that they are quote-unquote ink blots for us to interpret. We'll each interpret them our own way, so on and so forth, and such is true about the entire work, period. Last I checked, it had a linear storyline, the characters had a specific personality, and very few moments are actually open to any kind of interpretation. There are some, but yeah, not when it comes to character personality. Characters act the way they act because they have to act that way because it's how they are. And half of what they do wouldn't make sense unless you look at it in that context. Because see, what they do here, this one specific event, might make sense in this pseudo-philosophical interpretation of why they would have done this one event, but it completely contradicts why they then did this. Why? They did this and this because they're like this. Not maybe he did this because he's like this. No, because that ignores this, this, and this. They're all in a line because of a certain way of the way that the character acts. Same for the storyline. I really don't know how that's open to interpretation. It happens. You watch it happen. So I don't understand the complaint or how you can think that, but it's there. But I've heard this also in so many other series. I've seen it regarding Transformers movies. I've seen it regarding um, anime. I've seen it regarding video games. I've seen it regarding movies in general. I've seen all these arguments. In some cases against something, in some cases for something, in some cases for being against something. But they're out there. They're easy to recognize too because once you challenge them on it, once you do actually just sit down, man up, and challenge them based on what you know, being a fan of this, what you know, having seen all this, what you know from from reading the original source too, not just some interpretation, not an adaptation, but go to the actual source, take a look at it, argue with these people. It's hilarious because when you start melting down their little intellectual superiority bubble, they freak out and oh my god, laughter will ensue. Because it went from him trying to sound all deep and mystical to now you're just trying to show off when I was arguing. It was fun. See, more often than not, the people who try to hide behind that are actually intellectual. At any rate, that's that for now. Just arm yourselves. Be ready. Don't be afraid to talk about what you think. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. Sometimes you will be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. I'm not afraid to admit that. I have had to be told that I've thought things were filler in certain series that weren't. I've thought things weren't filler in certain series that were. I've thought that certain events happened that didn't, and people have pointed me toward it, and I've conceded that. Everyone has to learn. I had to learn to get to where I am. You have to learn to get to where you are. And not everyone knows everything about the same stuff. Learn from each other. It doesn't always have to break out into a fight either. There are some times where it's going to happen, yes, but just don't shy away from debate. More often than not, you might actually learn something. So, until next time, see ya.